I forgot about a cold open, Bill.
Oh, I got one.
All right, let's go.
It's multiple choice me, so we're going to guess what age did I lose my virginity at?
Ooh.
13, 15, 17, or 19?
I'll let the guest go first.
Okay, I'm going to guess 19.
Okay.
Rossi, yes?
If it's 13, I'm disowning you as a friend. 15, that's really young too. I feel like you were like me, probably playing with toys still at an inappropriate age. I'll say 17.
17 is correct. Literally probably days before my 18th birthday. So the anniversary is coming up pretty soon.
I was going to say, where was it?
On my parents' couch.
Well, if you talk to the average teenager of today and you ask them what it is about pop culture that they like, and the first thing they'll say is the beat.
Get yourself addicted. Get yourself addicted.
Welcome into the Pop Culture Piledriver. Get addicted to the content. I am Jason Rossi. You can find me at Jason D Rossi across all social media platforms, and you can find us over on the Twitter machine as a show. It's at Pop Culture PD. It will instantly make you taller. You're looking to add a couple inches. With me, as always, is my tag team partner right here in the podcast sphere. He is a good follow over at Billy D 2411. Again, all over social media platforms. He is Billy D. Billy D, what's going on?
Hello. Yeah, I'm tan all over, and I'm all over all of your social media platforms as well. Excited to talk season 4 of The Office.
Yeah, it's going to be great. We have our special guest with us. I think, the Dork had them Thrones boys, so we can be those Office people.
I like it.
I don't. We'll brainstorm.
It gets right to the point.
All right, working on. Lucy, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm also very excited to talk about season 4 because it was a pleasure to rewatch it because it is a fantastic season.
All right, we'll get to all that. You can be found at Lucy Burdge over on Twitter, correct?
That is correct. And on Instagram.
Oh, across all social media platforms.
All platforms. Same handle. Streamline, apt, readapt, apt.
All the smart people do. You can subscribe to this podcast on iTunes. Please do leave us a 5-star review. It would really, really help us. You can find us on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music. You can like and subscribe over on the YouTubes, and we can be liked as part of the Facebook group called Dork Shared Gooniverse, where this puppy's streaming live. This podcast nonprofit partner is Frank Says Hi. Since 2008, Frank Says Hi has been raising funds for those affected by cancer, from students going to college to giving direct funds to cancer patients at the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute for unique experiential events. You can donate or check out anything going on at franksayshi.com. I already introed you, Lucy, and this is a part of the show where we like to kind of see what's going on in our minds, and let's get it out of our minds.
Oh yeah, I'll be out on my mind, though.
Before we start, Bill, Oh Yeah is the artist of all of our music.
On Spotify, go check them out. They're excellent.
All right, that makes me feel better. Bill, do you think we should give it to our guest? Do you want to go first and be a
ladies first and guests first? Yeah.
All right, thank you so much. So today, Eminem, who is still relevant, his Without Me video, this every day becomes more and more relevant. His Without Me video hit 1 billion views. So he released the video in HD. Not a ton different about it, but it's still relevant. Proving my crusade every single day. He's still relevant. 1 billion views with a B.
1 billion views?
Billion views for Without Me.
And to celebrate it, he goes HD.
HD. There's nothing else to do at this point. Just keep it simple. No reboot, no redo the video, just HD. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, round the outside, round the outside.
Round the outside, yep.
Without Me. Okay, yep. Interesting. All right, Bill, would you like to go next, or would you like me to go next?
Well, you got to play to win, but you also got to win to play, which I think is one of Michael Scott's best nuggets ever. So I will go because I feel like a winner today. All
right. Do you want me to hit your intro?
Yeah.
Ooh, baby, I love your way every day. Yeah. Ooh, baby, I love your way every day.
And I feel like a winner because I called it that this show is still stuck in first gear. Ooh. So the second episode was just as side mission-y as the first one. And I made a point to the DSG earlier in a chat thing we had probably about 2 days ago. It's like a ride at Disneyland, and we have yet to get on the actual ride. We're still in line, but since it's a Disney ride, there's shit to look at. It's kind of cool. Like Baby Yoda's all over the place, but by the end of this episode, I think we were finally strapped into the ride and we're getting ready to take off. But still, it was a side mission that really took us nowhere. Some cool, scary monsters. At one point, there was a little more interaction. Baby Yoda had some great moments in this one. But no furthering of the story in The Mandalorian, which is really, to me, you got 8 episodes. You don't have any other original content, and you're not doing anything. There's no Skyfring. Gus from Breaking Bad is the bad guy in this, and he's a great bad guy. Really haven't seen him. They're supposed to introduce 2 other new characters, one of them played by Sasha Banks. Haven't seen her yet. So again, I don't mind a side mission. This one was at least more interesting, had a little more at stake. I felt like the characters were really in danger. But again, we're not doing anything to further the plot, and we've only got 6 episodes left. So hopefully we're strapped into, Space Mountain or Splash Mountain at this point and ready to go.
So the show sucks, is what you're saying. The Mandalorian sucks, Bill. Get off the fence.
So I'm not every Star Wars fan that's just happy to be in the universe, just along for the ride, if you will. I want good content, and right now, it's mediocre at best.
Okay. I've still yet to see it, but when Sasha Banks debuts, let me know. I'll watch that. That's when I'll get in. All right, for me this week, sad Nike news this week. I'm not going to lie. I don't cry a ton unless I'm emotionally affected, not by death. I'm cold-hearted bastard, black heart since about age of 20.
Did you cry when your son was born?
No, maybe. I don't remember that.
Maybe.
No, because
that's the biggest moment of your life.
No, because I'll tell you right now, without getting into gory details, my wife was in labor for 5-6 hours.
Good Lord.
I may have cried. I was pushing. I felt like I was back
in the
You guys don't even know.
You have no idea.
Oh, I don't? I was in a room eating pancakes at 10 a.m. telling I was going to have a son, and that kid didn't come out till almost 4 o'clock. It was a weird day. And I want to say I definitely cried, but the memories, when you have a kid, your mind just scrambled. I couldn't tell you what I did yesterday. But I did shed a tear, and thanks for making this a little more awkward. I did shed a tear Sunday when I found out that Alex Trebek died. You got to be kidding me. This dude's a staple of my life. Every single night, 7:30, like an old fart, it's either Chronicle or it's Jeopardy. And 90% of the time, it's Jeopardy. And in between commercials, I'll see what local joint is, has cows coming through that you can pet on Chronicle. But I will say it was so heartbreaking. This is going to be such a tremendous loss in 2 months when the last episode finally airs. And if that's not on prime time, if they don't buck up, and I want this across all, I know it's an NBC, I believe, or CBS platform. I need to be on all things, like presidential election shit. I need to take me over all network. CNN, I need it on every network. It needs to be the highest rated anything of all time. People need to be watching this. This needs to be treasured because it'll be the last time we see a true legend and a goddamn hero for what he's gone through to entertain my dumb ass who doesn't know maybe 88% of the questions, unless it's one random sport or a random music one that I'm I kind of know that one.
Yeah, my English degree helped me with the 18th century literature, but other than that, I was pretty much clueless for most of it. And I'm a huge trivia person. I know Lucy puts out the trivia thing all the time, and this guy has been, the trivia czar since before we were born. This guy has been around forever. He's a staple in your life. He is, your Al Roker. He is just the stalwart of trivia for the rest of time, really. And I'll get a quick one out of the way, pick of the pod myself, if you will. That's why I was wearing the Celtics jersey, for a local flavor. And a guy that I actually got to work with pretty closely during my career. One of the first, oh shit moments of, we kind of all work in the same realm at one point. Tommy Heinsohn was just a gentle giant, a sweetheart. I know that's a little bit probably closer to home, but this guy was involved in every single Celtics championship, all 17 of them, as a player, a coach, or a commentator. And, the Tommy Award is a real thing. I hope they keep that forever. And this is a Marcus Smart jersey, one of his favorite players. So I was always a fan, Jamal Tinsley just threw his face off of Paul Pierce's elbow. The passion that he called the games with was undeniable. And it really, spoke to me as, one of the few teams I'm still a homer of is the Celtics.
Yeah, R.I.P. Tommy. But let's get back to Alex Trebek here.
Sorry.
No, I'm just kidding. I know, absolutely.
He's
First
really
of all,
sad.
If you were a real fan, Bill, you'd be wearing a Walter McCarty jersey. But hey, what the hell do I know? I love Walter just as much as the next guy. But yeah, Alex Trebek, brutal.
That's
Tommy
awesome.
Heinsohn, sad. Sean Connery, gone. Stop blaming 2020. This is just, it didn't matter what year this was. Yeah, this is bad. And It just sucks. And obviously there'll be tons of funds because he had stage 4 pancreatic cancer. So I'm sure there'll be a lot of foundations that'll be putting stuff in Alex Trebek's name. You can check that out. My last plug for stuff we talked about Frank Society. Also, Movember is going on right now. We have Davey from the Dork Podcast, also a frequent guest on Furloughed and Friends.
Friends, yes.
He's did I say it wrong?
I don't know about Furloughed and Friends, but he is on Furloughed Friends, yes.
Oh, F off. He's got the mustache going. I'm not shaving for multiple reasons, but please do donate to Davey's cause. It goes towards men's health and mental health with anybody who is anybody, especially I know the 3 here from conversations we've had privately and here on the podcast, that we all very much care about each other's minds, bodies, souls. So please donate there. It goes to the research. I'm sorry, not just research, but funding towards people that we need this. We need this in all of our lives. More mental health in our everyday lives. Yes. And don't be afraid to put down the drinks, people. It's okay. All right, let's move on to it. Let's get into this puppy. Bill, did you know last week we won a poll?
I know. One of us came in not dead last and not second to last. One of us actually took home the big prize here.
Yeah, that's right, Bill. You took home the, what would you call it? The playlist showdown and which car people want to drive in. We had 11 tracks each. You won by 10% over me, and we both placed over driving alone.
I know. That was a big victory for us in general. I thought we would never win a poll. I always want to give people the option not to vote for us, even if we're the only 2 to do it. It feels good. Feels great. I'm going to take my victory lap. Maybe some votes still being tabulated, but right now I'm going to take the win.
Yeah, we stopped the count a week ago. All right, so let's get into this now. Why are we all here? It is season 4 of The Office. This puppy debuted. We'll do a little reboot in history and see if you guys can answer the questions we always go with. It was released on September 27th, 2007. Lucy, Billy, what was the price of gas?
2007. Ooh, okay. Was it over $4?
Billy, your guess. That was not really.
I'm going to go 385.
I'm gonna go 405.
No, it was a little bit cheaper than that. Still high in the 2s. 281.
It was in the 2s.
Really.
Wow.
Yes. All right. Then the number 1 record in the United States. Take a stab in 2007.
I'm always so bad with years of music.
Was it the Killers?
It was not the Killers. It was a pop artist that has a reggae flair.
Shaggy. No.
That would be like 2099.
Sean Paul.
Ooh.
Sean Paul's a good guess. No.
Sean Paul, reggaeton, Daddy
Yankee.
Rihanna.
Oh.
No.
I have no idea.
How about this? I'll kind of narrow it. I believe he is Jamaican. I believe. Again, I'm not 100%. I'm pretty sure that was a big thing. This song is kind of like it takes a sample from another song.
A lot of songs do that. Mainly every song now.
True.
So you're saying they take another song and they put it in another song?
Yeah, it's a speaking about mental health, this guy talks about killing himself if things don't go a certain way.
Oh my God. It's called Beautiful, and it's you're too beautiful, girl, suicidal. Oh, and his name is, oh my God.
You got it. You're singing it.
Oh, I'm Beautiful by Sean Kingston.
Sean Kingston, Beautiful Girl.
Oh, wow. What a pull, Lucy.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, I love that song. And Sean Kingston.
What an honestly awful song. Let's be honest.
So good.
You're so beautiful. If I'm not with you, I'll be suicidal.
No, my dad heard the song on the radio and it said it reminded him of songs from the 50s and he liked it. Yep.
Right, well, good, Mr. Burdge.
Great song.
Number 1 movie in America. It's a horror movie. September 27th, 2008.
The Ring 2.
Lucy.
I'm going to say Saw 3.
This movie has been released with this same title at least 3 times. Halloween by Rob Zombie was number 1. All right, the last ones, and Lucy, I'm very intrigued to see what your answers would be. Who was the current WWF and WWF World Heavyweight Champions? Either we'll take. Not the obvious.
Oh, wow.
Oh, well then, I'm going to change my answer. I'm going to say Hulk Hogan.
Okay, not 87. This is 2007.
Oh.
Bill, who do you guess?
Randy Orton and Edge.
Edge is one of them. Edge was your WWE champion. Your World Heavyweight Champion was the Great Khali.
Oh, God, I would have never gotten that. He's terrible.
No. Okay, so
That's awful. Is that when he held the belt up backwards?
Upside down. when he wanted in a battle royal. All right, the ratings for season 4 of The Office, again released in 2007. Rotten Tomatoes gives us an 83 for the critic score and 98 for the audience score, which, by the way, I think 98 is the audience score for almost every season so far. It was 97, one of them. Metacritic went from an 83 for season 3 to an 88 here in season 4. The top 5 rated episodes according to IMDb. Lucy, I know you may have had a vision of this on the sheet, but Bill, since I know you're sheetless, what do you want to guess was the top 5 rated? If you can, there's 6 technically because 2 tie. And Lucy, if you didn't see it, it's okay to guess.
I glanced.
I'm gonna definitely say Fun Run has to be one of them.
Fun Run comes in at number 4. There's a tie for 5.
Wow. Okay, so Fun Run definitely number. All right, Dinner Party has to be number 1.
Number 1, 9.5 out of 10.
Then I would say The Deposition is probably right behind that because it kind of builds some momentum into Dinner Party.
Number 5, it's tied with an 8.7. It's tied with another episode, so you have 3 more.
One of my low-key favorites is Goodbye Toby.
Goodbye Toby comes in at number 2.
Oh, so I'm 4 for 4?
You have 4 for 4 out of 6. Yeah, so you have 2 more left.
Ah, God, I love Launch Party or Lanch Party.
Lunch party. Lunch party.
Lunch Party.
But Angela.
I'll go with that one.
It's not in there.
Dunder and Mifflin Infinity.
The other 2, you're
I know
getting
one of them.
What is it?
Local ad.
What's that?
Local ads in there, right?
Yes, local ad. And the last one would be money.
Oh, damn it.
Monkey
That's
problems.
I declare.
All right, so that gives us our rundown, kind of takes a picture. The main storylines, first of all, major thing happened here. Just 14 episodes in season 4 of The Office because of the writer's strike. What was the writer's strike? Well, Google it. But for the most part, writers, producers, and people behind the scenes, especially, quote, the writers, were only getting like 30 cents on the dollar for all digital DVD, VHS sales. This is before the boom of the DVD, and currently, I'm sure all of us are watching this on streaming services or on demand, which wasn't around then. So the only way for these people to make some money was to renegotiate. They held out for almost 6 months from writing, obviously from mid 2006, late 2006. Obviously, they got some stuff done early 2007. Then they went on strike, coming back in 2008. This affected many shows, including The Office. So when they came back, as Lucy and I were talking before the show, don't forget BJ Novak, who plays Ryan, Minden Kelly, who plays Kelly, and her too, and Toby, whatever his real person's name is, all writers on the show. So not only were they were put in a really compromising position as they were striking, while also people that are like actors like Jenna Fisher.
I believe Mose is a writer on the show too, right?
Yes.
Mose is direct, like one of the creators.
He's really great. Matt, what's his name?
Shoots or something?
Yeah.
And I believe he also created Parks and Rec and The Good Place.
Yep, exactly.
And, yes, The Good Place. And I believe there was another show, I can't remember. Oh, he's married to Regis Philbin's daughter, who created The OC, or as part of the OC's writing. Fun facts everywhere. Anywho, so this show had a weird year, 14 episodes, which I liked.
But content-wise, it was still about 19 episodes because there was 4 to 6, I think, double feature or 44-minute episodes, if you will.
They said, I read something, that there was 30 episodes actually originally planned, because this is when The Office was at its hottest. Ratings are through the roof. They had 30 episodes planned. Some of those would be your double episodes, like Fun Run. The first episode was going to be split into 2. One was going to be called like Rabies or something like that. But this season was obviously cut down. Some of the storylines that we may have not seen, who knows? But here's kind of the main storylines. Please do add if I missed anything, which there's kind of a lot. Obviously, Michael and Jan's deteriorating relationship. Pam and Jim finally getting together. Dwight and Angela's end of their relationship. R.I.P. Sprinkles. Dwight becoming an actual human freaking being. We can get into that. Stanley and Michael's issues. Michael searching for himself. Anything else overarching storylines you feel this or themes of this season?
Not really. I think you kind of covered them all pretty well. The Ryan and Kelly thing is ultimately hilarious, but that plays off pretty quickly. I would just say, for how you were talking about it earlier, where this was one of the most hyped seasons ever. And it's one of the few hyped seasons, along with, probably the last 2 of Seinfeld, that fully delivered. I mean, and it was really hard. I always say a comedy, unless it's, like a USA comedy like Psych, should never be 44 minutes because it's really hard to deliver on a 44-minute comedy. But they kind of broke up most of the episodes into 2 arcs anyways. We kind of had, and we'll get to the first episode where they kind of broke it into 2 separate pieces. So I really think that this is one of, all-time TV like deliveries on. This is when the show, like I had told people to watch it from season 2 and 3, and now everybody was finally on board. This is when I was really watching it live. So absolutely home runs. The only failed storyline to me was Jim and Pam.
So let's talk about that. Let's start there. Lucy, what were your thoughts on Jim and Pam in season 4?
So this is where I get into season 3 should have been the end of the show. So Jim and Pam are together, and you're like, okay, so they're together. So what's next? Of course, like for them to get married, for them to have kids, all that stuff. So then we wait for that. We're waiting for them to maybe get engaged, which of course we find out they don't get engaged at the end of Goodbye Toby. But I thought I actually like Pam in this season. I was shocked at how going back, thinking now I'm not a huge fan of Pam. Going back and thinking she's not that bad in this season. She's not that annoying. She's like kind of, she plays a role in setting up her landlady with Michael. So it's that whole thing is the way that skirts into her moving with Jim. Or potentially moving in with Jim. We don't know yet what is happening with that. But I thought the Pam and Jim thing was good, and it was fine because you had all the other character stories going on at the same time. So the Pam and Jim thing you could kind of put to the side while like Kevin is coming into his own, and Dwight and Michael's friendship is blossoming, and Ryan is getting arrested, and that whole thing. So I thought it was fine in this.
Yeah. I actually feel like this is Jim's potential worst year for me, and I understand he was really funny, but I feel like his story of this whole proposal, non-proposal thing was absolutely nauseating to watch, hard to watch. He was Michael Scott cringeworthy with that. Like, I'm sorry, like there's very few things as someone that is proposed, and like those open conversations are one thing. Like, listen, if you're on the same page, that's cool, but to be like, goes down on one knee in one episode and he's like, I propose that you wait for me to finish this walk. Like, no.
Didn't like that.
Didn't like it. It was actually hard. It was literally like, in season 3, I said I had trouble watching Michael Scott at points. I was like, he's so cringy. But Jim took that to this year with that. They did it several times in the middle of the meeting at one point.
Oh, God, yep. I didn't like that.
It's like, it was uncomfortable. It wasn't actually all that funny. It was more like annoying. It's like, this is so dumb. Like, this is childish. Like, it felt like I was watching 10th graders. So I had a lot of trouble there. The relationship itself, and you brought up a good point, Lucy. I think this was Pam's best season because I dogged on Pam from season 3. Yeah. I thought she was actually more of like a little like her development with what her career goals are. We were getting a little more of like who she is, and she wasn't as like maniacal. Everybody in this season was a human being. Like there was a lot of more love for each other in the office. This seems like what an actual office is like. Like you're going to make fun of your coworkers, but when it comes to them actually being down, sad, or upset, you're going to help them. And we saw that throughout this season, especially Pam with Dwight, Pam and Jim, but Pam specifically, because she kept saying like, I couldn't do certain things to Dwight. Like when Andy comes over and has like a full split talking to Pam about wanting to date Angela, he's like, well, like, yeah, I don't think you're like a good fit. And
Angela or Andy.
Yeah, it's like, I can do
any of them.
One of my favorite lines in the whole series is when Dwight's like, I don't get it. I think they both could do better. Talking about Pam and Jim. Yeah. I think that this season, though, for me, with Pam, establishes later on why she's a bad person. Because Jim is so like, okay, cool, go to art school. I have no problem with you following your dreams. So it kind of sets her up as a little bit of a hypocrite later. Mm-hmm. So she was great in this season. I thought Pam was very good. I thought the stuff with her and Angela and her and Dwight was very nice. Just I also love her delivery of the, Dwight mercy killed Angela's cat. It's been difficult. Like she's really good in the cutaway scenes in this season, but I think that there being just a fine storyline was kind of helped out by the other two main storylines, which I think were the best storylines of the season, at least for like the main beat, was Michael and Jan and Michael and Ryan, which I thought the Michael and Ryan one was, it's hard to pick which one was better.
Michael and Ryan
disasters, but yeah.
The scene when he's on the call and he's like, hey, whatever. Ryan's being a little bitch. He's like, I'm on the call, Michael. Hey, what's up, my brother?
What's up, my brother? And he's like biting his lip like, listen, Ryan just being a little bitch again. What's up, my brother?
And I guess that should start off that the season opens. Obviously, we found out at the end of last year, the very last scene was Ryan got the corporate job, Jan's former job. And Michael, immediately is like, oh, my former protege. He's like thinking like he's in. And he's basically, and then there's what is it? The dog and the fish conversation.
Yeah, I'm still a big dog in a small bowl. Or something.
A small pond, and he's a fish in a big pond. So what would you rather be, a dog or a fish?
Right, and he's living with Jan. Jan has moved into the condo. She's her full-time job is their relationship and yoga and their Porsche.
Unbelievable.
There's that
relationship.
I think we have to tackle probably the best opening of any.
We'll get to it.
Okay.
It's in the. We're doing some Dundies later, Bill. Dundies awards. If you open up that pup, but don't worry, you get third pick. We have 5 awards. We'll be nominating. We'll have the people's vote. But no, the opens in this season overall I thought were really quality. But I just think going off of this story, the Jan and Michael stuff with obviously we can get into dinner party and just one of the scenes that I said this to Lucy before. That episode, for someone, this is my first time watching again. That episode is so hyped. Bill, you've told me about it. Obviously, our friend Kevin, who's a big fan of the podcast, friends of ours, he always said, dinner party, you're going to love that. Or he says, I'm going to hate it because he thinks I hate everything. And Lucy said it to me for years, people would talk about it. I don't know what Mac and Goo, I know they did a draft. I'm assuming that might have been a first overall or an early one.
First rounder, definitely.
Yeah, but the episode, the first time I watched it, I'm okay, this is supposed to be really funny. And I got good laughs. The fourth time watching it, which was earlier today, hysterically laughing. And I said, I was singing Hunter's song, one night you made, and then just Jan, I can't go.
That one night.
And just everything about it, that the album is called The Hunted. The way Jan is dancing to it, everything about that. Also with that episode, I don't think I've ever laughed as hard. I will never forget it. The first time I ever saw this episode, a decade ago, when he said he made the table. I don't know why, but the table got me. The very first, I wish I could go back and watch Dinner Party.
What is that, oak?
Yeah, it is
I think it's Nordic cherry.
Nordic cherry. Jim's I'm so bad at this stuff.
And then
that's my bed.
And the whole episode with the Pam, Michael, and Jan thinking they have a thing together.
So great. Yep.
The looks in this episode, I didn't have time to cut the video, but I was going to cut it to the look of love, and just the looks that Jan gives in this episode are unbelievably perfect. And you don't even realize that they're for 7 to 8 seconds when she gets cold and Michael puts the sweater on her and just cuts to. It's unreal.
I'm so sorry.
Every delivery
here. This is a gliding glass door.
Yeah. You want to tell the story? I don't like that story.
I don't like that story, babe.
Because I cleaned it. I guess that makes me the devil.
Okay, so that devil thing, maybe her best moment of the episode, that is improvised.
Is it really?
Yes.
So,
well, absolutely love it. She's so good.
And obviously, much less people are listening to this podcast than listen to the one I'm plugging. But the lady, it was at The Office. The lady of The Office.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've just finally started listening to that, and obviously they were in the middle of season 3. The little nuggets they will give you in there is amazing.
Yeah, it's good. The thing I can't get past with that podcast is their voices. And I can't listen to it. Their voices are just so just relax, guys. Just relax.
Yeah, they're definitely not professional broadcasters. Not that I'm trying to say we all are. But
I would say we're much better. Our cadence is better than theirs, and they are.
They're actors.
They are the Screen Actors Guild and everything. They're SAG card holders, and they don't speak as well as we do.
Yeah, when they get pulled over, they can pull out their SAG card.
Yeah.
Come on.
I mean, you would know if you pulled over Pam or Angela.
Would you know?
Yeah, I mean, she's not allowed. She's not allowed in Chili's.
Yeah, 2020 though. I don't know how famous either one of them are.
I would say still.
It's one of the most watched shows in the history of the world.
Would you recognize Angela? Not you, but you think an average cop is going to pull over and be like, oh, that's Angela from The Office.
More than an average athlete, yeah.
If they're in LA, probably.
Okay. All right. What about whatever happened to Jenna Fisher, by the way? I feel like she did this show. She did what was the name of that movie?
She wrote a book.
Oh, okay, cool. Hall Pass. She did Hall Pass. And
she did that movie with John Heder and Will Ferrell, the skating movie, Blades of Glory.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she did that.
If you think I saw that. She also was a St. Louis Blues fan. That's the last
that's right. That's her thing. Right.
And holding on John Hamm's jock. Anywho, but Dinner Party, amazing episodes. I also think the best part about that episode is how there is almost no dinner. That is just such a funny thing that they did. And I thought Pam
Sabuco had to braise for another 4 hours.
3 hours, yes.
3 hours.
3 hours from now or 3 hours from earlier, 4 o'clock.
In Spain they don't eat sometimes till midnight.
My turn.
So
it was my sounder Michael was doing during that. That is unreal.
her reactions to him being just Michael Scott, I think is, for me, a very relatable thing. Like the way I act and the way some of our friends respond to the way I act. I felt for Michael Scott in that episode.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Deeply.
That's an Alligator Rock moment.
Yes.
All right. So other things before we get into our Dundies, which we can dive more into some of these things. Anything else from the season that you definitely think like jumps out at you, or moments or episodes for good or for bad?
Kevin, we see a side of Kevin that is very, get to know Kevin much more. And this is why we'll get to this in the Dundies. Actually, I'll say that. But with Kevin, we see where his fiance has dumped him, and when they have the meeting of the 5 families, this is like Kevin thrives off of this because he feels important because he has a problem. He wants to get it solved. And there are these people who are, he feels are more powerful than him. And he stands up to them and he says, it's just nice to win one because it's been tough, and he won one. And that's why I love Kevin.
The buddy cop Andy Kevin, which like we didn't see before, and I don't know what's to come, but like didn't see after that episode, at least in this season, was great. And you're right, Kevin not only showed the, with the breakup, and then Michael does she didn't deserve you, or something like that.
She didn't deserve you, and he's like,
He said it in a reassuring way, but it was like the most the worst thing you could say.
Yeah, but like he had good intentions and saying, he just messed it up.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
unreal. And like in the final episode, the way he interacts with Holly, I think is one of my favorite things. I'm totally gonna bang.
I'm totally gonna bang Holly.
And she thinks he's slow because of white. That story, see, that's where I find this is where the show took you from the, I think, extremely uncomfortable, like from my standpoint, again, 2020, we're living in different times. Like that was funny to me. That was like a way that they did it. And then obviously, Bill, I want to let you know, I didn't know this show. I think I may have told you when we texted. I didn't know this season was only 14 episodes. I'm like 3 deep into 5, thinking we're still in the season. So I want to bring up this one thing. If there's a conspiracy or one of the, I guess you could say, potential like behind the scenes or innuendos that are within the show. And I don't know if this side had been in season 5, but I don't think it did. Hear me out. Jan has obviously Serenity by Jan.
Yeah.
She comes into the office. This might have been one of the early season 5 episodes. So stop me if that's when it was. But she talks about a girl who was missing. Was that season 5?
Yes, because it was not she comes in and season 5, because I don't remember it in this one where she's missing and they're like, oh, they found her. That was season 5.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll save it.
Yeah.
Save it for the next pod. Maybe we could dip into the Dundies because there's so much we're going to talk about with these.
Yeah.
So the Dundies, we're going to do the PCP Dundies featuring Lucy. We'll have 5 categories. We're each going to nominate stuff where you will do on. Bill, if we describe either one that would be on your list, just add another. So first off, for the Dundie Awards, Lucy, I'll let you go first. Favorite episode?
Okay, so I have one and then I have an honorable mention. So my favorite episode of this season is Local Ad. I think it is each season like has a perfect episode. This one is just perfect because it's everything about an office. Like every business has a commercial and they're trying to figure out what is it. We want to be part of it, but also the corporate side of it. Michael, of course, wants it to be about family and about them waving is too boring. Everyone has a creative part in it with a song with it. Yeah, exactly. And then so then you have Michael insulting people, and then you have limitless paper in a paperless world. Perfect. Just perfect. My honorable, sorry.
No, I just want to say in that episode, by the way, the music that
Dunder Mifflin, the
people,
unreal.
The
Creed,
paper people,
and Kelly, and like Kelly's doing these weird like hand dances the whole time.
Yep.
Those 2 scenes where Mike goes, "I thought we were getting a rap. You're really disrespecting your culture."
The first time I saw that, I was irrationally mad at Michael because that was such a good song. Both versions when they tweaked like the
Mifflin,
the paper person's paper people.
So freaking good.
So
like
good.
I loved that.
Yep.
Absolutely
And
loved
then
that.
Haunted.
Yeah,
and then he goes
so good. Oh, the Hunt is really good though.
But then he goes, I hate it. I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it.
He
And
smashes the keyboard.
There's the keyboard is an unsung hero, which there's no award for this, but like the
by
keyboard,
Toby too.
It plays several key moments. But in this season alone, we have the ad where, you have them playing right there. Then later in Goodbye Toby, when it gets pulled off, one of the best scenes is when it flies off and he's like, son of a bitch.
Damn it.
Yeah, damn it, that's it. All right, so what is your honorable mention?
Okay, honorable mention, Survivor Man, because this is the first episode I ever watched. I watched it live when I was in high school. I was trying to get into The Office. First episode, turned it on, thought, okay, I'm watching. This is my show now. Survivor Man. And that was my first entree into, I think that's the right use of that French word, into The Office. Yeah, so I love Survivor Man.
Pant City. That's where, I don't know if that's where it came from. I have a tent in my pants. It's great stuff.
Yeah, love it.
Bill, do you want me to tell you what I put in for the Dundie? Or
I opened up the sheet. I can do mine if you'd like. Mine is obvious one. It's the one that's on the nose, but I think it is probably the highest slugging percentage Office episode there has ever been, and that is the dinner party. I mean, this thing just hits home runs left and right. The better song is Dunder Mifflin, the People Persons Paper People, but the way they created the Hunter song, like, that is one of those moments I'm jealous I wasn't in the room with those creative people when that song was being written. Because I've always, anytime I see a song like that, like the San Diego Superchargers song, and I'm like, what was going on when they made that? Like, what was in their minds? Like, when they made the "You Took Me by the," that is just hilarious.
Made me a man.
And and when Jim and Pam do that one night in the car, he steals the CD. That to me is one of my favorite parts when she puts on the song, because we've all had those people in moments where like you have to hear like this song by this person and it's fucking terrible. I might be one of those people. I know I'm one of those people, so I kind of relate to that. The dancing, everything about it, and then just the back and forth at the dinner table. And the low-key great moment of this episode is when Dwight shows up with his babysitter. That blew my mind the first time I saw it. It doesn't get revealed until they were at the dinner table.
Babysitter.
But what does he say? We have carnal knowledge of each other. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, so purely carnal. That's all you need to know.
But answer me this, because I'm a little confused at the end when they drive by and she's there. Was she just a homeless lady?
No, that was his babysitter.
I think so. She was waiting for the bus.
Yeah.
Okay. I that was an interesting, like, I didn't really get that part. I didn't know if she was waiting for the bus.
Because Dwight didn't drive her home.
Yeah.
Because he was her ride. So she's waiting.
She was just like, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Well, because don't forget, Michael left with Dwight as well.
Right. But, that's why Dwight couldn't drive. Because Michael lived there and so the police said, can you stay with anybody?
Okay.
Yes.
The other low-key moment is Angela supporting all of Jan's crazy ideas. I've seen the way you look at it in the office. Sometimes she takes forever to give a message. And we all know people like that. So that's why this episode hits home, because I've seen all of these character archetypes like leak into stuff. You've seen that like guy like Dwight show up to where he's not supposed to be.
100%.
I've been that person. But the thing that also is great about this episode is when Jim tries to bail. And he's like, all right, well, my basement's flooded, all my stuff. And then Michael's like, well, two of you don't need to go back. And then Pam, like, and this was like almost like as realistic as it gets when she's like, well, you can replace things. You can't replicate the memories.
Party. Yeah. And he was going to abandon Pam.
He was. And
unbelievable.
It would have been a good movie.
You can buy new things. You can't buy a new party.
Because we could talk about this episode it could be a whole pod.
Yeah.
Is the Jim line where he talks about like they're playing, like they're having their own game, who can make us more uncomfortable,
and they're both funny.
Yeah, when Dwight shows up and then they have the conversation about children, vasectomy, and he goes, the toll that has been on.
You have no idea the physical toll that 3 vasectomies.
Not a person. I snip.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that I don't want to bring children into this messed up world.
And then she's like, maybe we should have
No, my favorite is she's walking away and she just goes, I hate my life. And then she walks away. That's my favorite.
Yeah,
but the Jim face, that's an all-time gift, the Jim face in that moment where he's just like,
oh, that's the one, yeah.
So the whole thing starts, last thing about dinner party, the whole thing starts with them all happy answering the door and Jan running away saying, I hate my life. And that is the bookends of that dinner party and how it has deteriorated.
And then Dwight goes, so can we come in?
Yeah.
And the setup of the whole thing was Michael setting up, because Jim always says he has plans. He sets up the whole working late thing. And then he goes, these are my family and these are my friends. We will not work. All right, everybody go. Anyway, sorry, we can talk about that all day. For me, the episode I will nominate, so far, local ad dinner party, I'm going to put in the deposition, because this episode is loaded with nuggets of greatness, because just Michael trying to remember what Jan tells him to say, the way his memory works. He's like, I have a friend named, like, I can't remember.
Pat.
Yeah.
My friend Pat took a turn. It's a pattern of disrespect and inappropriate behavior.
The whole thing there.
My friend Disray has new specs.
It's ridiculous,
terrible.
but so funny. And I think the thing that really hits home with this episode is you really see, along with Survivor Man, this is such a big Michael Scott evolution movie episode, because he easily has Dunder Mifflin in the bag. He can turn them down. He gets told he was never really in the running for the corporate job. He's made fun of. Jan turns his back on him by revealing the diary. Toby's in the room and he just hates Toby. No. As soon as he walks up, I will not say another word till he leaves. And everything's going against him. And then when he finds out that it's like, so do you think that Dunder Mifflin shows disrespect to their employees? He's so heartbroken that Jan revealed the diary, let alone that literally this company has called him a moron. He's dumb. He shouldn't have his job. He should be in sales. That's from Jan. People that run the company don't think
David Wallace said he wasn't.
He's a nice guy.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
He heard that, he turned completely.
And then he said, I don't think they did. Jan loses the, quote, $4 million suit. And then he goes up and he shakes his hand. And then he's like, by the way, I think you're a nice guy too. It's so sad. It actually made me literally like emotional, not crying, because I don't cry, but emotional. Like I had that feeling inside of me, that pit. And I'm like, oh, Michael, like this is so miserable.
But that's how much it meant to him, that he wants his companies like his family, and that they think he's a nice guy. It means everything, over his girlfriend, over everything.
Everything. And that was the end. Obviously, dinner party came next, and that was the end of the relationship. But so nominees for the Dundies of the best episode for season 4 is the Deposition Local Ad Dinner Party.
So real quickly, the Deposition, the line, and it's part of if you can see my screen right now, it says Tan all over, Jan all over. When they read his diary entry,
diary.
And like he uses the word wrong at the end. I felt forget what the word was.
Okay, he said I felt very irie. This is actually a real Jamaican word, which means happy.
Oh,
so he
really?
actually was saying I feel very irie because that's the right way.
I feel very eerie.
Eerie, he's like irie, but that he was right. And the part with Ryan, I'm not. Not
when
as hot
Toby
as
goes
Ryan.
nuts and starts laughing.
Also, there's also the scene where Michael feels like he's completely, the lunch break because he can't answer the question. And then he goes and Toby's like, I kind of understand what you're going through. I had a divorce, my parents. And then he just literally, with one time, Toby tries to open up to Michael and so they can be on the same page because Toby likes Michael. Michael just hates Toby. Right. And he just shoves his lunch off, walks away. What? Like a jerk. That is like in high school when like you're the kid getting made fun of the whole time. And the one Michael, whatever his name is from Superbad, the kid who's like the alien. Yeah, you go over to his table and you push his stuff off because you still have to feel better than him. Michael, what do you think?
So mean.
So those are for our best episodes. So now, favorite character of this particular season. Billy, you want to start us?
Sure. I mean, you guys left it wide open for me. Again, I get the home run. It's Michael. I think this is his best acted season by far and away. He shows the most depth and range, I think, out of anybody, from Survivor Man to the dinner party to the Deposition to even, dealing with Ryan, which I think is one of the key points, storylines. Even when, like, from the get-go, when he comes in, how's my favorite branch? And he teases him and lets him know that Ryan lets him know right away that the relationship isn't going to be the same. And then they have another one of those moments where Michael's trying to explain away why they're still best friends. He's like, he had that look in his eye where he was also like, we're best friends still. So like that relationship from the get-go has a pretty good roller coaster ride, and Michael handles it really well, from, not doing the PowerPoint presentation. I just think this is Michael Scott's, without question, his best acted season, because he is the main storyline. I think earlier on, you could probably put it on Jim and Pam, especially in season 2 and 3. But Michael, I think, carried this season the whole way through.
Good pick. Lucy, who do you say?
Mine would be Kevin.
2 years in a row.
Yes. Yep. So Kevin, I love here. He has great lines in this. He has women be shopping. He starts with, and assemble the 5 families. Yep. Women be shopping. And he starts with him knowing Jim and Pam are dating and trying to prove it. And then the 5 families thing. And it's
you kidding me?
Are you kidding me?
Kidding. Oscar, there was no proof of any sexual relations. Yes, they both are happy. Are you kidding me?
Yep. Definitely Kevin.
Yeah, Kevin was really good. I almost nominated him. I will have one honorable mention before I had Toby until I sent this to you guys, because I thought he was so interesting in this season. The ups and downs. He was more on screen in this season than he was probably the first 3 seasons combined. He has more story character. One of the best lines in the whole season is, we had so much s'mores. I'd be like, no more s'mores. No s'mores. The way he does that, and it's all because Michael wasn't invited on Ryan's little getaway, but just the way he does that, me and my wife will occasionally, I'll just look at her and be like, no more s'mores. No s'mores. Like his weird voice that he does, it's incredible. Obviously, finding out he's leaving during the lockout episode or whatever that's called, Night Out.
Yep.
When you find, and then he touches Pam's leg.
Oh my God.
I'm moving
And
to
it
go.
lingers. Yeah. Oh, I haven't now. He like knocks on her. Everything there. You're trying to get a picture with her at the very end, but she's all upset because Jim didn't propose. Like Toby was really good, but the guy I went with was Billy. I take your Michael and his character development, the way he was this season, and I raise you the greatest actor this year, the greatest character this year, and that is Dwight. Dwight went through everything. He was straight up Dwight at moments when he did the ad-libs thing, when he was being all goofy and cocky and like douchey. And then you saw the real Dwight, the heartbroken, sad when they're at in Money episode. Jim goes in the room and goes, "Hey, what was that?" He goes, "Oh, I must check on Maz. Maybe there's so he's doing stuff."
Have bad dreams.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
and then
ever since the storm.
and then you just obviously that whole episode where you get to know a little bit more about him and his oddness. If to the beginning of the season when he's trying to help out Angela, but then quote unquote mercy kills, or as he likes to say, like, the cat was dead, no longer goods, all the things he had to do.
Had no utility, had no life.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's
Provide milk or food.
And so then obviously the Andy and him relationship where Angela gets involved in this kind of romantic triangle to the moment that I think steals, and you guys would know the episode, I forget it off the top of my head, when Angela goes up to Andy with cat in hand because he tries to, by the way, give her a replacement cat, and she denies it.
The cat is standing. The cat is standing. That gets me every time. How the cat is standing. A huge cat.
Is my cat?
I love when he goes. He named him Garbage because he likes to eat garbage.
Yeah. So then and Angela's holding said cat later and is holding it ridiculously. This cat is, like you said, standing. It's huge. And goes up to Andy, goes, "You may ask me out." I'm not going to remember everything, but this is ridiculous. He's like, "You may ask me out, but no bars, no noise, no alcohol, no vegetables, no seafood, and like there's something else." And he's just like, "All right, like here we go." And then Dwight loses it. He storms out. And Pam goes, Dwight, like trying to, because she knows he feels. Jim then goes, explains kind of the situation he went through with Pam and Roy, why he left. And Dwight is just heartbroken, moaning, sad. And then Jim like leaves to like just kind of give him a pat without letting him know. And then he like reaches for Jim. It's this very emotional moment where, again, this season has so much heart. And then also the part where Dwight also, what was the episode where, when they go to the other office, I'm sorry, the Utica, and his whole like plan and how there's a scene where he's peeing in the cup. Yeah, the cup. He's like, and they're on the speaker and he's just like, "Oh no, like we're going to get caught." And all he's just up and down.
Him versus the computer too is one of the great story arcs. Yeah. He's so good against that. Like it's become self-aware. This happens sometimes to machines. Like that is a great back and forth with him, Jim and Pam, and Jim has to kind of convince Pam, to your point, like he's being really annoying with like the deer horn.
Yep. Oh god, I actually hate that.
And guess what? He crushes the computer again.
Yep. It shows like the computer.
He's really good at his job. Like he's a really excellent employee. So nominees for the best character of season 4: Dwight, Kevin, and Michael. Again, Toby was an honorable mention. Also, I could have went with Stanley as well. I thought he had a really good season. Favorite open. Bill, I'll let you take it because I put it on there, but I know it was yours first. I can come up with
No. You go with another one. I'll get one.
All right, so I'll just say it's right off the bat, fun run. The opening of Michael eating cereal, saying that Jan bought him breakfast, it bought the milk, it's soy, goes over, we see Jan just passed out on her bed saying she's not going to wake up for hours, to describing how Ryan, his protege, is now running the place, and he pulls in and nails Meredith with his car. Literally hysterical laughter right off the bat, first scene of the season.
Right before he hits her too, he said, "I feel very blessed."
Yeah.
Bam.
Yes. So that will take Fun Run as the best open. Lucy?
Me? Okay. I will go with Did I Stutter? Because of course Fun Run, great. But this one where he puts his face in the cement from the beginning of him thinking of what do I do to make, I want to be remembered. That is Michael Scott in a nutshell, wants to be remembered and loved and known by everybody. Face in cement is what he goes with, and the process of getting there. Phyllis trying to figure out what she did when she found cement, Kelly and Pam and the whole thing, and Jim saying if you were a real celebrity, you'd put your face in it. When his face is the contraption they set up so he can breathe with the straw, smash his face in the cement. While his face is in the cement, he says, "That's what she said." When they said press it harder or something, he said, "That's what she said," into the cement face hole.
That
Incredible.
episode,
Love it.
in the way it opens, is just all right. Ideas.
Yeah.
Like I did. So he just goes right in.
Love
Bill,
it.
who would you say?
So I think it's the second episode. It's the Dunder Miffler Finity one. And I've had this moment many times in my life with the DVD box thing going like this. And like, they're all like waiting for it. And like, Jim's like, did Pam say she saw it? Like, and Pam's like, no, I did see it. I saw it. One time it happened when I wasn't in there. Because that stuff is stuff I do around my office. Like, it gets boring at points, so you find stuff to do. But Michael's like getting excited about how they're getting excited about like what's happening when he's just saying ridiculous stuff.
He thinks it's him?
Yeah, he thinks it's him. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the cube going into the corners. That is. Oh, that's a good one. All right, so now we'll go with the two little negative side here. Least favorite episodes. Bill, you have one you want to start us with?
Yeah, I don't like Branch Wars. I really don't. I don't love that one. I don't like, because Jim's like super uncomfortable in that one, and it kind of makes me uncomfortable. There's some definitely good moments in that one. I never really believed Stanley was going anywhere. I don't really like Karen Filippelli. So nothing about this really did it for me. Plus, it's such an outlandish thing. And I know the show is an outlandish comedy, but to me, this was a little bit in the realm of like beyond believability.
Yeah, that definitely had moments. I just didn't like. It had the most unrealistic scene where Karen notices Jim somehow.
Yeah,
she's like across the parking lot, and he's ducked down. Like,
right. The only way is that she would know that's Michael's car somehow, and then put it together that Jim is in the car somehow.
But she walks up to the car and goes, Jim? Like,
exactly. I feel like maybe she saw it was Michael's car. I don't,
or maybe
because it was a purple PT Cruiser. So I don't know what color it was, but it was a PT Cruiser. So who knows? Yeah. But that part is true. It's not believable.
No, and she does have a great line. I actually kind of like her. I just love the line where she goes, it's really not that hard to be a man, to become a branch manager as long as your boss isn't an idiot and your boyfriend
isn't in love with someone else.
Yes. Great. All right, Lucy, what is your least favorite episode?
So I'm going again with Did I Stutter? Because it doesn't have the juice of the other episodes, and I basically base this on I never go back and rewatch Did I Stutter. Every other episode I have gone back and rewatched. I skip Did I Stutter if I'm looking at skipping things.
Yeah, I skip Branch Wars. I don't like that one either. And Did I Stutter? When I watched it again, probably yesterday or the day before, I was like, yeah, I haven't seen this one that many times, because it is like that. Season 4 does have a good slugging, but there are some misses.
See, I like both the episodes you brought up. I don't know why. If maybe I'm missing things that we have different tastes with that, which obviously that's what makes us different, makes us special. But there's something about that episode. I think it's because Stanley, you finally get a little more out of him. Both the episodes you're speaking of are two like Stanley-centric episodes. Stanley getting the offer, and then he goes, in the Branch Wars, he's like, maybe Michael, because he just wanted a raise, he didn't want to leave, and he goes, maybe Michael's some sort of secret genius. And he goes, I say crazy things sometimes. Like, that's a great ending. And then Did I Stutter? Just the Michael and Stanley like back and forth. Michael finally has it with him. They have the private conversation. He kind of cries like, why are you always going to be picking on me? Which Stanley has been doing since the very first episode. But both of those, I don't know. I didn't put in my worst category. For me, it was job fair. I think this episode lacked just about everything that I've come to know The Office for. It didn't have a great punch. It had maybe the worst cold open with Michael just with his goofy pants and sneakers, to Pam, like him like sending Pam with the paper stuff. It was like a bunch of swings and misses with the jokes. I didn't find it necessarily funny at any point aside from when Kelly calls Daryl Barack Obama. My boyfriend looks like Barack Obama. Like, I know there's something about that. But everything else, like at the job fair, it's kind of awkward. We're seeing Pam at her high school. There was nothing there that made me go like, oh, this is hilarious. Like the only thing that was potentially there was this was the birthday episode, was it? No, that's a different one, right? That was the Survivor Man, I believe. Or anyways,
all the birthdays.
Yeah, thank you. But this episode didn't have like anything I thought to like sink your teeth into. And again, the rewatchability is just bizarre. So I will put job fair there. So Billy, you went with Branch Wars, Did I Stutter from Lucy, and I went with job fair. In our final categories of the Dundies from season 4, least favorite character. I'll start with this one. Creed. Here's the reason why. Where was he? There was not enough Creed. We come off season 3 had tons of Creed. You have a lot of momentum. He had one great line when he talks about Pam being blind, and he says that all the great jazzists or something is a weird word are blind. He's like, I want to put a piano in front of her and see if she can play it. And I also want to see her topless. Like, funny stuff, real good from Creed there. But outside of that, there really wasn't a lot of moments where I can even remember him. Like, when I think of the season,
he has a good line at the very last episode when I think what's her name's asking him what she does, and he's just like, "What is this lady doing here?
Yeah, we gotta get rid of her.
These questions,
asking all these questions."
All right.
Mine, very simply, chair model for dying and breaking Michael's heart. That's all.
That episode, I think, in this season, and so far of all the episodes seen, is the oddest one because, like, it's so out of nowhere. It's so ridiculous.
They go to her grave,
and they like sleep there. They're like there all day.
It gives you one of the greatest lines in pop culture history, too, sir. This is a Wendy's.
This is a Wendy's. Like Kevin's friend.
Another great Kevin moment, and he wasn't even on screen for it. I don't even know if we get a cutaway to him laughing about it, but him doing that just is also a little like fire under Kevin to like give him a little bit of a boost because he wouldn't do that in probably the first 2 seasons.
Right.
So I love that. And that's a great way to win any Twitter argument when somebody just goes off the deep end. You're just like, sir, this is a Wendy's.
Great. It really is. And that's something I didn't know what that was from for years. I've heard about that. It's like a lot of the Step Brothers jokes that I finally saw it this year.
Right.
All right, Bill, who's your least favorite character in
Toby.
4?
I mean, I didn't like Toby. I really didn't like Toby in the season. I hate the him and Pam thing. I again, least believable thing to me in the entire world that Pam finds Toby cute. Not only because of the way he looks, which is fine. You can find he's just like the least attractive human. He's slumped over. He's just a dull, dumb dummy. Yeah, he's nothing.
But that's the charm of him. I think that's what not only made him a good character this season, but I think that's why Pam, and obviously I think Pam saying that tied into Toby's character because he's been literally obsessed with her since season 1, episode 1, and then he's finally leaving. She's like, "Don't tell him I said this," but I think he's good. Like, hilarious. He
does a good job at being Michael's foil, but when he's used in the other scenario, like the picture thing where he's like freaking out to get a picture, like that is just too uncomfortable. No one
anyone have a camera here.
Yeah, like that kills me. I will say the best part is him being used as Michael's foil. Like Toby has been bruising for a long time, and I'm his I'm his cruise director, Captain Bruising. Like that is beautiful, and he serves a purpose on the show. And I guess he's like a good heel because I hate him.
No, he's not a heel.
I hate him. No, he is. He's Michael's heel.
Michael's the heel. Toby's actually the face.
No.
100%. Toby's just doing his job all the time. Toby cares about Michael several times.
I hate Toby.
No, you hate life.
You're supposed to hate Toby.
No, you're not. I don't think you're supposed to. Toby, if you love Michael.
If you love Michael, you hate Toby.
But Michael, like when Michael's sad about the Ryan thing, he's really just trying to get with Holly. Like Toby's like, I wouldn't do anything there. Like I just leave him alone. Like, and then like Holly goes in and Toby's like seeing it. He's like, oh, maybe that's how I should have reacted to him. When freaking Stanley goes off, he goes to him and says, hey, like, do you want to talk? No, we're just, he's like, we were playing. He said, like, he yells at him and he goes, this is hilarious. He goes, he's like, you know, did I stutter? And I'm like, yo, what's up, dog? My brother again.
Brothers.
Yeah. But anyways, like I thought Toby was fantastic in this season. Like he was like he pops in like when the Holly first gets introduced and Michael needs to show her stuff. Toby's something like, no, get out of here. No. He says no to Toby's existence 3 times this season, and it's hilarious. He's great. But nonetheless, okay, so our final nominees here for the 5 categories. Best favorite episode would go to The Deposition, Local Ad, and Dinner Party. Favorite character, Dwight, Kevin, Michael. Favorite opening, Fun Run, Did I Stutter, Dunder, Mifflin, Infinity. Least favorite episode, Job Fair, Did I Stutter, Branch Wars. Least favorite character, Creed, Chair Model, and Toby. You can vote at Pop Culture PD. Any final thoughts about season 4?
I think it's my second favorite season. 3 than 4.
Okay.
That's what I have to say about it.
I would definitely, after rewatching it again, and like Lucy said, there are certain episodes I skip. In fact, all of the ones, I know that Fry guy here checking in with a Billy, you are Toby. Not sure what that means to me coming from him, because if I were to rank the people in our DSG as people, I'd give him Toby. So
all right, pause. Bill, you have to rank them. There is, let me pull up the entire roster, because you are going to do this. Let's see.
I will say this is my 3rd favorite season. I'd go 3, 2, 4. Just because there are a lot of ones that I skip. Again, high highs in season 4, but I think season 2 has just a steady climb of good episodes. I think even season 3 towards the end falls off a little bit, but like the highs and like the compact highs in season 3 make it the best season of The Office.
All right, Bill, you will rank the DSG.
Right.
Here we go. You have Shime, Davey, Dr. Joe, myself, you, Billy, Lucy. Actually, you can't rank yourself. Lucy, Goo, Fryer, Mac, Wes, Keith.
All right, so just give me them one at a time. I will say that Shime will be Kevin.
Oh, I know. You're ranking people. We're not putting people, not name analogy.
Like ranking them what? Like first to last?
Yeah, first to last.
I don't know. Like in what, like popularity, like looks?
You like them.
Like, I like them? Oh, like the way I like them? Dr. Joe 1.
Okay, Dr. Joe 1.
Let's see. Number 2, probably Mac. Number 3, Shime. Number 4, Goo. Number 5, who do we have? Wes.
We have Wes. I think you like a lot more recently, but
yeah, I love Wes. Wes is a good guy. Went out recently. Who else we got?
We got Lucy, me, Keith, and Davey.
Keith, Lucy, Davey.
Yeah, and then you have me and Fryer.
You, Fryer.
Nice.
That was a weak game. I should have bailed on it early.
I didn't know what that was.
I should have bailed on it early. Bad hosting. Anyways, for me, I agree. I think season 4 might be right there with season 2 for me. Season 2 is my favorite. I really like season 3, but there's something it's the season that got me like emotionally invested in this show. I really enjoy doing this kind of watching in this weird, wacky time we're living in. It's a go-to show. I watch it often at night now. It has replaced How I Met Your Mother as my going to sleep show.
You've become a regular American.
Whatever that means.
You watch The Office when you have nothing to do. That is like 90% of people.
And honestly, this morning I got up very early, unfortunately, for different reasons. But I watched the entire season in the background. I wasn't watching, kind of like Billy. I know we've talked about this. And it's like every time I would turn, I would like stop for like 3-4 minutes and just kind of watch.
Yeah. Exactly.
And the show is really great. This season's a lot of fun. I'm scared to see the deterioration of the show, which I know you guys have teased. It's coming.
You've got some time though. You've got time.
Okay.
Season 5 is pretty good. There are some episodes I confused with season 4 that I thought were season 5. I definitely thought Money was a season 5 episode. I don't know why, because it even has Jan in it. Although I guess she's evolved a little bit in season 5 too. So they're like these kind of like 4, 5, 6 kind of get all jumbled up.
Made that banner for no reason. All right, Bill, hold on. I got a little intro for this. We will wrap up shop here in just a moment as I continue to stall because we will find out what's happening this week in the Dorkshire Gooniverse.
Shared Gooniverse.
A lot going on in the DSG as always, so we'll start it off with Dork, the 25 essential movies. I don't know if you guys have seen it, heard it. Have you?
I have not heard it yet.
Nope.
Okay, so I listened to it the other night. They went after you again for your Borat take and kind of like came at it in a different way.
Wait. Hold on. Time out. We're redoing takes.
They went at you because you said you didn't like the Ali G show, which honestly, like if they were friends with our friend Blake, they would understand.
Let me get this straight. So I don't
because it is a good show, but he played it to the point where it was unwatchable.
Let me get this straight. So if I'm making fun of Lucy about X, like, oh, she loves The Office. Then the next season I come back with the same thing with a little bit. Come on, step up your game, dork. I say plenty of dumb stuff, I'm sure. Or maybe I'm just, maybe last week I was too good.
So I think we all have to listen and then tell everybody the things that we haven't seen. I was quite surprised there were only 2 to 3 movies I hadn't seen on the Dork Essential list. I think I've never seen Swingers, or the movie they said that was like Swingers, maybe it was. And then I've never seen Army of Darkness because I don't really like horror, but I've heard that's really not super horror-y.
Not horror.
So I will check those out to be an official member of the DSG, I guess. So very good episode, very good listen, very much a lot of fun. Mac and Goo, as always, is doing the 1989 classic Aliens. The guys from Change My Mind did Batman vs. Iron Man, another very good episode. Toy Boys, I think that's, every once in a while. I don't think they've done one recently. TLDR, of course, talked comics. Furlough Friends, not Furlough and Friends. What did you guys talk about?
So we yesterday talked about a wide range of topical things like the coronavirus vaccine. We did Tony La Russa. We did a ton of stuff. This Friday, TBD for the episode itself. So we'll see if it probably will happen, but it's every week, Tuesday, Friday.
Love it. Make sure. And what's the account name? Is it at Furlough Friends?
At Furlough Friends. FURLOW Friends.
Was the show ever called Furlough and Friends?
No.
And then don't forget to check out all of our streaming guys. Davey, of course, we mentioned he's doing #Movember, so make sure to support him. Dr. Joe, also a part of his team, so make sure you support both of them. Shine Time recently been twitching quite a bit. He be twitching, just like women be shopping. So check him out. I know that our guy Fryer has gotten into the game. What is it? Among Us?
Among Us, yeah.
Among Us, which I want to play too, because I think you can play it on your phone.
You can.
And it's the imposter game. I know that's a hot meme right now. Who's the imposter? So that's something like I would love to play with those guys. Seems like a ton of fun. And stuff coming to the DSG soon. I don't know if you can see it in the background, but I did make a new logo for What If Wrestling, which will be a Rossi thing, which I'm working on. I took the whole week off to do a bunch of side projects, so that is coming. Yeah,
Billy took vacation because of me, but yet I'm his second to last least favorite person here. That is bull crap. That is bull crap.
I've also been designing some board games for a buddy, so I'm just turning ladies on left and right with all my skills.
I was just going to say, Bill.
And now to add to the dating profile, I can add 2 podcasts because Dr. Joe and myself are going to be doing a little thing on Psych called I've Heard It Both Ways, and that will be debuting next Thursday.
Will that be here on this YouTube channel?
I think it will be.
Ooh.
Very
Now,
nice.
Lucy, have you ever watched Psych?
No, I've not.
Neither have I. So maybe we'll see what happens after The Office. I don't know.
So
We'll see if
we
keep it
are
around.
doing one episode at a time.
Love that.
And we're going to do deep dives in each one. So if you want, you got plenty of time. It's on Amazon Prime. It starts slowly, but it is a great first season. The first one is basically a pilot. It's like a mini movie. So I encourage you to watch it. Gus and Sean's friendship is the greatest friendship in the history of television. And I think Bert and Guster is the best character, in my opinion, and he's my favorite of all time.
Okay, some upcoming pods here on the Pop Culture Piledriver. Next week, we will review Planes, Trains, and Automobiles because it's really the only Thanksgiving movie
Love it.
to note. Maybe. I don't know. Is there some maybe romantic comedy? I'll check out the Hallmark channel this weekend. Then we will be doing a dessert tier list. Probably going to have a guest on that one. We'll do that the week of Thanksgiving because everyone talks. Lucy, we all know. We talk about the appetizers, the main course. But we need to get into the desserts because holiday season, time to pack on those, 4 to 5 pounds.
LBs.
Whatever. But, you're going to look good. You're going to look thick. It's going to go to all the right areas. And then we also, for the holiday season, we are planning, we'll have the top 11 holiday songs, which, Lucy, what song will definitely be on my list?
Kelly Clarkson, number 1. I don't know what it's called. Oh, I don't know, but it'll be on the list. It'll be on the list.
Yeah, I off the top of my head, I don't know what it's called either, but it is fantastic if you like being screamed at about holidays. Also, part of the DSG will be doing the top 25 holiday movies - specials. I'm going to have to get my mathematic hats. Yep, that's right. That's
By
all
the way, people love you. Goo is all Team Rossi on the Team Rossi math. Said you're a genius. Said you're a genius.
I am really bad at most things. I don't know, like talking, being a person, but math is the one thing I've done well in my entire life. I am to math is the opposite of Lucy to filling out sheets at my prior job. I am to math as Lucy is to crossword puzzles because I am so into it. I love it. It's a good thing to do to get the mind going. But anyways, we'll be doing a top 25, which I believe it will include every single member of the DSG.
Not Davey and not Mac, I don't think.
Screw them. They're doing it anyways. What are they? Are they anti-holiday movies?
I think that Davey doesn't want to do it, maybe because of we're going to rank Die Hard, and Mac doesn't want to do it because, Mac can be difficult sometimes.
I hate them both. Off my Christmas card list. Honey, take Mac and Davey off the Christmas card list. They're off. But that'll do it for us. Lucy, where can the fine folks find you?
They can find me at Lucille Burdge on Twitter and Instagram. And thank you so much for having me on. Again,
Yeah, those office people are taking over by storm. Got good reviews last time. People dig the three of us put together on that one. Billy, what about you? Where can all the fine folks find you? Is there anything else you want to say as well?
They can find me at Billy D 2411 across the 2 social media platforms I frequent. And honestly, over the course of this hour, those office people has kind of grown on me.
And there it is, folks. Just like everything and people around me, Jason Rossi will grow on you. This has been so much fun, Lucy.
That's
thank
what
you.
she said.
That's what she said.
What was that? Strike
Thank
again.
you.
Repeat that again. You asked him. She was on top of who? That's what she said.
Strike that from the record.
Come again?
Yeah, and he's like, well, the inflection wasn't quite there. But you, again, thank you both so much. Those office people out. Frank says hi.